Okay, welcome everybody. The new Prusa Mini has arrived. Okay. Also the first Prusa box I've seen with a handle. It has been a while since I had a new Prusa machine, so maybe the MK3s have this handle. Do have some shipping damage, so hopefully there is nothing inside that's going to cause any problems. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what's going on. Also, tomorrow I will do a live stream on assembly. They should be really easy to assemble. There's only a couple bolts and a couple wires to connect. There are a couple little tricks to it. So there we've got in the box. And important, if you have a day one Prusa Mini, there is firmware on this USB key. It's actually a kind of a cool key. So there's firmware on here. The rumor is the holdup was getting these USB sticks. So they already had a bunch of these made. Around 400 is what I read. They had to delay the shipping, unfortunately, due to that USB key. Typical 3D handbook. I've never used these. I just used the web version. A lot of good stuff in here, though, especially if you're new to 3D printing. We've got congratulations on getting your printer. And oddly, I don't see the warning about the firmware, but I did see the warning about the firmware online. Hey, Steve, can you hear me okay? I don't know how the microphone is working. And then also got a Prusa cheat sheet, which again, this is new for me. I didn't get this with my Mark II printers, but it's got all the sizes of your bolts to scale. Makes it easier to find things. Awesome. Thank you, Adam. It's kind of cool to have the we've got the typical, we've tested your printer out to see everything is working. Wow. Okay, so here we have the magnetic bed plate. And I'm going to grab an MK3 plate here. So this is the powder-coated spring steel. It's just so cute. I've already done some playing around in the slicer, and there's quite a few models that I print that'll actually fit on this plate. So I'm quite happy that even though this is small, in fact, here's the E3D Chimera for size comparison, and this is pretty tiny. So it's quite interesting. I'm excited, though, that most of what I print on a daily basis will fit on there. There you have a spool holder. I'll never use this. If anybody wants it, let me know. A little bit different. I guess we've got the budget Haribo gummy bears. Got some Prusa Mini PLA, Galaxy Black, and Vanilla White. Power cable. The normal stickers that he gives you now. Spool holder, so we got the bearings and whatnot for the spool holder. Apparently the only tools required, we've got this little spanner wrench and then a 2.5 millimeter Allen key. And it looks like some little PTFE fittings in there as well. Overall, the packaging is really well done, typical for Prusa. I'm just going to pull this inner box out. So there's the other spring steel bed. This is the regular PEI. And it's kind of funny, it was actually attached to the bed. So right here we've got the Z and the X-axis. And here we've got the Y-axis. And this, we've got the LCD. And it is in a red static cling, so there is the new LCD, the color screen. And it actually says ldomotors.com, so that's kind of cool. The wheel feels good. Hey Mark, how are you doing? So there we have the Y-axis. It's already got the feet pads on it. The bed is very similar to the Mark III, just shrunk down. And here you can see the T-nuts that we're going to use to attach the Z-axis to. All right, just for fun, here is the Mark III bed. Thank you for subscribing, Marcel. All right. Interesting how they package this. So lots of the white foam, but no zip ties or anything like that. Okay, Marcel, I got to make you go away. Your pop-up is not disappearing. What is that print on the MK3 bed? It is glue caps for the chargers that I make and sell. Okay, so here we have the new, let's see if we can get this to show up okay on the camera. Maybe. I might hit the camera. Come on, zoom in. Okay, so there is the Prusa designed extruder and hot end. And so that is kind of cool. You got the cooling fan on this side that blows through. They've got their own designed heat block. So this is the Minda probe, I guess. Instead of being called the Pinda probe, they've renamed it to the Minda. Overall, this feels sturdy. They've got a nice aluminum plate down here on the bottom of the Z-axis. And another thing they've done is they've gone to 10mm rods here instead of the usual 8mm that you find on the MK3. So here is the actual extruder, the Bowden extruder. This is hard to aim, guys. Okay, so there is part of the gear in there. And I still wonder if this gear is similar in any way to what the Hemera is using. See if I can. It's kind of hard to tell. I don't know if that'll focus. I'll take this apart tomorrow and see how similar it is. E3D and Prusa tend to work together, so I'm wondering if this is fully Prusa or if they worked with E3D again. This is the new Buddy control board, which you'll be able to see tomorrow because you actually have to take this cover off to plug in all the wires. And they also recommend that you move the Z-axis up manually before you start doing the install. So you're going to want to move the Z-axis up to about here. And there is the parts cooling fan, which I'm still real curious on how well that's going to work. You can see it's only blowing from the back. So I got to admit, one thing I am going to do is do a bridging test. Bowden cable is fairly short. Let's see what else we've got in there. The only thing we have is the external power brick. Now I got a paper cut, that's fun. Why is it the older we get, the easier it is to get paper cuts? So we've got a Meanwell power brick. So that's actually nice. My Robo power brick was always incredibly noisy. This doesn't appear to have any fans on it, so it's going to be pretty quiet. And I do have a CraftBot 3 actually printing in the background. I don't know if you can hear the noise or not. The CraftBot 3 is an incredibly quiet printer. I turned off all my other printers except for the CraftBot. That looks like that's all in the box. That's pretty simple. You know, typical nice Prusa box, very clean. Got two wires there that you have to plug in. That's going to go like that in some manner, and there's actually a way to line it up, and I'll show everybody that tomorrow. So something like that, very nice and tidy. So here's my MK2, and it's been upgraded to an MK 2.5. And believe it or not, this one has just a touch over 10,000 hours on it now. Probably a little bit more because I did do a firmware reset at one time. Everything is actually still in good shape. It does have some grooves. This was before they went to the steel hardened rods. So there are some grooves on here from the bearings, but the print quality out of this at 10,000 plus hours is still phenomenal. I've got a Prusa Bear as well, and these both print pretty identically, so it's pretty neat. You can see that it still has the old threaded rods on there to prove that it is an older Prusa. Oops, any questions, guys? You want to see anything else? I'm not picking up the Crackpot 3. It weighs like 40 pounds. And also something fun that I'm working on that I'll show you guys soon. I'm upgrading my Prusa Bear with SLS printed parts. Got the extruder printed in SLS. And then for even more fun, on my Hevo printer, I had this plate cut out from Send Cut Send to fit the new Hemera. And then I also did one, and Steve and a couple guys, you're getting one of these. This is for the BLV. All right, I don't have good vision, so let me read what you guys are. Okay, Adam, I actually sell chargers for racing transponders, and that keeps all my machines pretty busy. I've got a little over 8 machines that I keep running 24/7, and I don't have any in here, but they're transponders that go on actual racing cars, and the manufacturer has quit making the chargers. Here's a really old one. It's quite simple. The transponder just sits in there. We've got some clips that hit the charging lugs. It's kind of weird. I got into it on an accident, and I can't seem to get out of it. So, and yes, this is the first time I've done proper video, and I will do more proper videos. I do have a lot of boring videos with no sound or really bad sound. I'll show all the minis when they arrive, or if you want to send me yours, Steve. I'm very interested in how the print farm is going to work, because this is actually a good size for printing my chargers. And hold on one second. So here's a bigger charger. This is a 4-place, and it will actually fit on the Mini as well. So that's kind of exciting. I wasn't expecting this to fit, but playing around in Prusa Slicer a little bit, I discovered it would. Do you want to see my Promega? I've got 3 of them over here, so. All right, so there is a Promega. that's what a Promega looks like. It's great for spare parts. And the nice thing is Marcel, who is in the chat, he is working on some great modifications that'll actually make this thing not look like this. So we'll be able to get these Promegas up and running. There's a 3-axis bed mod on Thingiverse that Dehiding did. And then Shadowhawk is working on a complete X and Y mod. Yeah, Nev. That Promega I just picked up was actually a beta unit. So you'll see some different videos on my channel of all the different modifications we were playing with. So one day those will work. I hope to. I don't want them to throw them in the ocean and make them, you know, reef restoration cubes. So one day we'll get them working. But you know, they printed fantastic. We had some really, really good prints out of them. The extruder was goofy, and that was kind of what started to kill it off, and then we just started playing with them from there. But the frame itself is good, so you know, it's a nice sturdy frame. So through the mods on Thingiverse that the guys are working on those machines, I've got 3 of them, and we'll get them running. So that'll be fun. All right. I guess that's all for now. And tomorrow I'll do a better live stream, and we'll put this together, and we'll get it printing. So I'll try to do that probably around 2 o'clock Central. And something else that's exciting, one of my good friends, known him 3-4 years, he is resurrecting the Pico Hybrid hot end, and I will have one of those on Saturday that I'll be able to start testing. I'll have one of the beta ones, and then I'll also later be getting the production unit. So that's the Pico Hybrid, and you can Google it. I think it's B3 Innovations was the old vendor producing that. And in a couple days, I'll be able to share the new website with you guys. It's something that you can get high flow rates from. It's got an interesting blower solution for cooling. I think I dropped it on the floor. Okay. So you know how we always use a typical cooling fan on this, you know, a 40 millimeter. So on his, he's got an actual blower that blows into this, and so it makes it rather compact. So I'm excited. Should arrive tomorrow, probably Saturday. But once I get that, I will. I won't do a live stream on it until I get it running on a machine. But I will post some videos of what it looks like and share that for everybody. If anybody has any more questions, if not, okay, Adam, probably around 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. I've got to pick up my twins from school, and then after that, I'll go ahead and start putting this together. I'm excited to get it running. Some of the beta prints have looked amazing, so hopefully that's what we're going to get out of this. You know, it's actually just playing around with it here. It's actually quite stiff, and you wouldn't think it would be that stiff. And that was one of my worries. But this aluminum plate that they added on the Z-axis, I think, is really going to contribute to this being stiffer. And, you know, there's not even much torsion if I try to do that. So yeah, overall, I'm pretty impressed with the build quality. I mean, typical Prusa, every time they build something, they improve on it. And I don't see any reason why this isn't going to be a good machine out of the box and fit well into my print farm. Although one day I hope Prusa starts to use these SLS parts because they come out amazing. This is a Prusa bear. I don't know if you can see the bear on it. There we go. That's a bear extruder. And then just for a size comparison, there's the bear extruder with the Hemera. Probably my hands are getting in the way. So the Hemera is actually quite compact, so I can't wait to put that on the machine and play with it. And see, there's that darn paper cut I'm telling you about. Something to look forward to when you get older, and especially in the winter. I'm always slicing my fingers open. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for just this unboxing video. And tomorrow, let's play with it and get it printing. So, thanks, everybody. Have fun. Have a good night.